Welcome, folks, to the 2020 Savage Worlds Adventures Guild Awards. Joining me on screen are three amazing creators, Mr. David John Anderson Jr. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Hello.
Mr. Christian Serrano.
Hey, how's it going?
And all the way from France, right? Cyril.
Yeah.
Welcome, Cyril.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to give a couple minutes for folks to stream on in. So we'll do a little red carpet. Cyril, who are you wearing?
Are you wearing what?
Oh, so on red carpets, everybody's all dressed to the nines. I mean, I wore suspenders tonight and a tie.
I'm wearing Redbubble.
A regular T-shirt and a jean. I mean, every day's work.
You don't actually have to wear pants to wear suspenders. I found this out right now. So, yeah.
So what are they attached to?
You'll just have to imagine.
Okay.
I'm not standing up. There's no way. So, Mr. Anderson, right, we're taking a drink. Of course, I'm going to do this to you. I'll start with you. As long as we're waiting around, how have you found the swag community, the swag program, publishing, all that good stuff?
It's nothing short of amazing. And two of the people that are sitting here today and yourself are reasons why it's so fantastic. I mean, you jump onto the Discord, and no matter what question you have or anything, everybody's got all the time in the world. I'm not sure, but I think Cyril actually read my product before I put it out. I reached out to like 5 people, and I was like, hey, what do you think of this thing? And to a person, every single one of them read it and got back to me, and they were like, yeah, it's awful, change all this stuff. And then by the time I got through that process, I had a pretty good product. So it's the most amazing community.
So question to you, Christian.
Yeah. I think it's from the get-go. I thought it was a brilliant idea. And I was eager to get in on it myself. And how quickly the community kind of like pulled together around it in terms of collaborating and sharing ideas, and has anybody thought about doing this kind of thing, and so on, was amazing. And the camaraderie there, it's not competitive, it's very friendly, it's very encouraging and collaborative. There's a lot of workshopping that goes on the Discord server, on the unofficial Savage Worlds Discord server. So it's pretty amazing. I love it. And I love the fact that, like Jen and I were able to put out 2 test products on it to kind of get a feel of how it worked. And it's pretty awesome.
So Cyril, have you been able to tap into the Savage Swag community all the way from Europe?
Yeah, I started to join the server before Swag came out. I mean, before Suede came out. Because in France, mostly the community is using forums, so something very old. And I have a hard time tracking what are the news. It didn't happen to me, so I searched for another media, and I found the Discord server. Everybody there is friendly, and there were a lot of answers to my questions, my newbie questions about the rules and so on. And then Swag came out, and I discovered Dylan work, the Summoner Circle, and I said, "Oh, that's amazing! I want to do the same." And here I am.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then you are going to be the winner of multiple awards tonight. Pretty amazing feat. And so it's exciting. Actually, it's exciting seeing how many overseas non-American folks we have producing really great stuff on the community. I mean, you think that America kind of steals the spotlight in some degree, but not here. I mean, there's so much.
Not at all. You are so little.
No one has ever called me little, but yes.
No, we have Zadma, who made a lot of content for Savage World before Suede, even, and he's from Germany, I think. Maybe from England, and then from Germany.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Sprawl Runner, Manuel is from Germany too. We have the guy who helped us with the Savagepedia is from Spain.
It's pretty far-reaching. And I think what's cool too about Swag is that, one, it is a platform that allows anybody from anywhere to be able to publish easily and reach the audience. And I think it's also really cool because Pinnacle and the Aces can only do so much content. This is a great way to get the masses to kind of fill in gaps that are needed. And I think that's where it's like, Cyril, a lot of your products are even doing exactly that, which is amazing. It's like filling all those gaps that, the things that people want, but, the Aces and Peg are, they got things already on their plate, so I think that's really, really fascinating.
Yeah, Venatus, you're in the audience. Why aren't you on screen, buddy? I think you got something coming out, man. You got to check your email. Come join our stream, buddy. But no, it's true. Well, yes, it is true that Christian has the dulcet voice.
Yeah, he does.
This is true. But the
Christian's the standout here. Yeah, he's definitely our Spice Girl of this particular group. Yeah.
I'm curious which Spice Girl I would be.
I don't know enough about the Spice Girl.
Right, lavender spice.
Yeah, that
Excellent.
sounds good.
I'll take it.
But it is, and there's a thing about swag, even versus just Aces and Kickstarter, and what even the Pinnacle website could offer, is that by being on DriveThruRPG, you get the DriveThruRPG audience to notice you as well, and that's just a great way of you kind of getting your, we're all little, we're all shouting into a big void, right? Like, pay attention to me, play my game, it's fun, I swear. And here we go, salt and pepper spice. Nice.
Matches my chair.
Right? Is there a bald spice? Or maybe Old Spice. Ooh, Old Spice. There we go.
Oh man, nailed it.
Yeah, or Fat Spice. Is there? Yeah, anyways, so the fact that you can kind of get on DriveThruRPG and get that wider audience is fantastic. And now that we actually have a platform to do streaming and to actually do stuff like live streaming and to give away awards, we're going back in time, folks. So bear with me, indulge me. We're going all the way back to 2019, and so folks have asked, like, how do I become a swag member? Swag's easy. You can email us at info, and we'll give you the links to how you can kind of get set up on that. But how do you become an award winner? So I'm not going to give away the secret spice. Disclaimer. Subject to change without notice. But we wanted to do is we wanted to look at both. How you look at, like, we kind of get statistics from DriveThruRPG, and how do you, on a platform and for the kind of diversity of products where people are giving away stuff for free and people are putting out stuff that's almost setting worthy. I mean, we look at like Sprawl Runners later tonight. That's a campaign and a little bit of a fluff away from putting out really just an ace setting book, right? So we give that range of stuff. It's anywhere from like a 1-page adventure or a game aid idea all the way up to settings. It's kind of hard to say, well, if we just do gross sales, certain products that are selling for a lot might have an advantage. If and then free products have $0 gross sales. If we just do numbers, like, you sold 12 and you sold 500, products that are cheap or free have an advantage. And there's DriveThru has one of these obnoxious pay what you want features, and it's like, oh, how do you deal with that? Like, you got 200 $0 sales and 100 $3 sales, and how do we do it? So my little autistic mathematic brain went through and Beautiful Mind, what was that movie with Russell Crowe? Anyways, about John Nash. So figured out, like, we'll combine, both, best of both worlds. We'll do, popularity in numbers, popularity in dollar amounts, and then because of all the weirdness on trying to game the system, if you only knew the formula, you know how to game it. We're giving away a new award, just joining everybody else, but the top free. So if you have a product that's always been free, $0, you really can't compete in the other kind of metrics. So the number one most popular free product is going to get an award, and then everybody else is kind of a mishmash, top 10, top 15, whatever the numbers come out to give away the awards. So I've gone ahead and gone back, and since we're going back in time to give away 2020 awards, why not, apply our formula to, like, who we gave awards to in 2019. Plus, there were some people in 2019 where, like, if you published it at like December 20th, your numbers for 2019 don't show up in, when you publish and how much you publish. So let me run through here, folks from the 2019 who we're giving additional awards to. So let's see. First, An Unexpected Wedding by James Walls. This is an adventure. It is currently on Drive-Thru RPG for $2.99. It's really fun. James is a great guy. I happened to meet him at Gen Con about a year ago. And so this is a great 2019 additional swag winner. The fan favorite Richard Woolcock comes in with a 2019 additional swag award winner for the Wild West Countdown deck. These are pretty exciting. This is available for $2.95 digital or $9.95 for the cards in print and PDF on Drive-Thru RPG. And for folks who don't want to figure out is the Ace of Clubs versus the Ace of Diamonds versus the Ace of Hearts first, plus a lot of great art and other symbols that kind of give you game and creative ideas on it. The Wild West Countdown deck is a great pickup. This one is an excellent. It's Wolverines Take the Highway to the Danger Zone. So if you are not an 80s fan, stay away. But since everybody should be loving the 80s, this is a wonderful adventure by Chris Hussey. It is currently on Drive-Thru RPG for just $2.50, and it is a 16-page PDF that pays homage to some of the best and funnest 80s properties. An early product. This is a early product by Cyril, who is joining us today. It is the Companions and Familiars Fantasy add-on. It is currently available on Drive-Thru RPG for $3.99, and it is a whopping 33-page add-on that talks all about how to play Companions and Familiars in the fantasy realms of Savage Worlds. And then the top free adventure for $0 on Drive-Thru RPG is the Temple of Death by John Steve. And Eric Lamoureux wanted to give a shout out to John on winning this one. So congratulations, John, on this. Eric appreciates your work, and so do the rest of us. Eric also said that tonight's show was going to be hosted by a stand-up comedian. And sorry, we couldn't afford a stand-up comedian at this short notice. So you're going to have to settle for a good old little sit-down comedian. That's what we're so. Congratulations, 19 folks. We appreciate you guys, and awards on your face. And that kind of those questions. Like, yes, Cyril is definitely a publishing machine. That is true. You will see momentarily just how busy he. Let's jump right to your awards for this year for 2020. The first one, the fantastic Tomes and Prayers by Cyril Rosano. And let's see, that is currently for sale for $7.95 on Drive-Thru RPG, and it is a 55-pager. And let's just run through all these because let's just talk about them because they're all amazing. The second swag award winner is for Wizards and Mystics. Wizards and Mystics is... Says Barton, says Woodsey. Where's Wizards and Mystics? It is currently, it's 45 pages, and it is $7.95 on Drive-Thru RPG. And then last but not least, Bards and Minstrels, again by Cyril Unso. And that is only 9 pages. Sir, what happened? 9 pages. But it is at a only $1.99. So... Those are fantastic. So tell us, between the three, I mean, what can people find in there? What kind of content? I think that the best part about this is that, like as Christian was saying before, Savage Worlds, but before we had Savage Pathfinder, it was a real thirst for fantasy content. And you've obviously succeeded by providing some of those wonderful things. So tell us about these 3 books.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating a bit because I'm selling stuff for fantasy, and a lot of people wants to buy fantasy stuff. So,
give the people what they want, man. That's all.
Yeah, well, at first it was something I wanted, so it's okay. My idea was to try to make arcane backgrounds for fantasy more special than the core arcane background you find in Savage World. Starting with which was thing for me, or to be more the artist, so some more tools through his performance. And I want to do more, but it was going slow, so I decided to make a product, just to finish something. To say so. That's why it's a bit smaller. So it was Bard and Mistrels the second. So I tried to cover as many tropes as I could. So the guy with a mandolin or a guitar, but flute or singing or telling stories, and maybe puppets and all kind of arts, drawing and so on. And then I said, okay, this one worked. Now I have to finish the other one. And so I went to Wizards and Mystics, which introduce, okay, it's clerics. I know we have the miracles arcane background in this core book, but I went a bit deeper with domains and other options. And I said, okay, I did a lot of work for a lot of arcane backgrounds, which are quite typical for fantasy. Now maybe I could also publish the way I build them, because I did a bit like making races and companions familiar. I did one system to build your own arcane background, and so I said maybe everybody could for their fantasy setting, pick a few options and build one of their arcane backgrounds like this. And a bit at the same time, I think I worked the two products nearly at the same time. I made the Tomes and Prayers, which is focused on powers. New powers, more utility oriented. So because Savage World is a lot of about action, and I needed a bit more powers like locating people, or you could sleep at night by building a house, or summoning a boat or something like this to move around. And I also pushed something similar. I was inspired by Savage Rift with a mega modifier, so a system which enables stronger versions of the powers when you reach some level of power, which I think fits very well the high magic fantasy. Yeah, so
that's fantastic. So tell us, I mean, you put together what together could be the start of your own setting book. Is that any of interest for you, or alternately, what is your next projects you're looking to do? This year, next year. What's on the table?
There are so many things we could do.
All the things.
Yeah.
All the things, right?
New species, traps, poisons, maybe. I think I left a bit the assassins and rogues away from all the products I produced for now, so they could get something. Design a setting, no, I think it's really a lot of work, and I'm not very confident. The idea I have for settings, I think, are not unique enough to. I prefer to use what exists already, so I will not publish a setting for now.
That's
the
fantastic.
next steps would be to translate them to French. I have a lot of people in France which says, they are nice, but they are in English, blah blah blah. Now that Suede is available in French, I have to translate them in French. I believe.
That is fantastic. Well, and one more question for you before we give away our next award. Promotion, so you obviously you found a super secret sauce in 2020 and even 2019 to get your products noticed. Anything special you did to promote? Do you think it's choice of content? If there is a trick, what's your trick?
Yeti. Jan Yetmar, it's one of the author of the SWAT community. he pushes on Facebook a lot of advertisement for my products. But beside that, not much. I think it's just because it's fantasy, a lot of people are going to check it. And when the first one works, you follow what the author publish, and if the work is okay. So I believe people like the work I do. So I guess it's working like this.
It's
I mean,
fantastic.
I think the titles alone do a really good job.
Yeah.
Because it's very literal as far as what you're getting and what people want, right? And so I think that was a really smart move as far as naming the product. So,
well, hot damn!
try
Speaking of
to.
smart moves and titles, sir, our next 2020 award goes to Herbal or Herbal, it just depends. Alchemy, put together by the Immaterial Plane, Jen Sutcliffe, and our own Christian Serrano. So, congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you.
That's available for just $1. And so tell us again, perfect name, right? Like you know what you're getting. You don't have to do much advertising. Like boom, here's where it is. Have you found making this product with Jen? And tell us about what you can find in here, and then just give your experience on the swag program, sir.
Yeah, so Herbal Alchemy is actually it's something that came out of it's Jen's brainchild, honestly, and it came out of the idea of so we're working on a setting. We haven't formally announced it, but we'll announce it here. It's called Explora, and I don't want to give spoilers away yet, so we'll just leave you with the title. And she wanted a way to convey characters who can. She wanted a way to convey characters who are sort of foraging or gathering resources to create these minor magical items, right? And like an herbal alchemist, right? And that's what we came up with. We came up with Herbal Alchemy, and so the core concept is, foraging for the PowerPoints to then, create these items that have minor magical properties. The cool thing about it is that while we wrote it with a fantasy tone, it is very easily adaptable to other genres. So whether you're doing post-apocalyptic and you're like harvesting fuel, or if you're doing like a fantasy setting where there's like crystals that have energy that are serve as PowerPoints, or if it's like if you want to get really detailed about what types of ingredients and what regions they're in and so on, you can change that. You can even change the list of powers if you want to, if you depending on the trapping that you're going for. And we've seen a lot of discussion, especially in the Unofficial Savage Worlds Discord server, where people are doing exactly that. And that to us is like, wow, that's more than what we thought we were going to get out of this. And we love seeing that. So it's, we put it out there as like an experiment, and people seem to love it. So we're really, really pleased with it. And we're obviously going to keep it. So, yeah.
I got to tell you, Christian, I'm planning to use it in my supers campaign.
That's
how
awesome.
good it is. Yeah, I'm going to use it. Yeah, it's because it's perfect for like scientific formula too.
Yeah.
So just use it that way.
Get those chemical ingredients, or it's
it's right on.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and and again, like going back to the swag program, we put it out there as sort of like a concept. We didn't know if it was going to be successful. We didn't know how people were going to receive it, or if they're going to like it, or if they're going to hate it. And swag is really good for that. It's a really good test bed just to see how something plays in people's games and whatnot. And so if for anybody who's a creator out there that's looking to do something like that, you got maybe you want to become an ace later, but you just want to test drive some of your own products, swag is perfect for that. I highly recommend it. So
yeah, I do think it's nice just to managing expectations, right? Like if people are only paying $1, $3, $5 or something, the expectations aren't the same as if you're going to put out a full setting book. And I think a lot of setting creators, one of the things, I mean, just from personal experience, you run across is, wow, we have to spend what on art? How much is it going to cost us to fill this with the kind of, people are going to buy a hardback book and it's going to be over 100 pages. It better have X, Y, and Z in it. And you realize, man, I'm going to be paying everybody else before any of this comes back.
Right.
Whereas I think on here, just the fact that, they're one, the nice templates you guys mentioned, but two, one piece of stock art, all you really need for, a small product. Yeah. And the sad thing about, I think, game creation and mechanics is no one's ever going to pay you for the brilliant mechanics and then the hard work you put into tables and crash. Even though that's like 95% of the work you do as a game designer, is that hard. Like, what is going to be fun at the table? What looks good? It's not the sexy that sells it, right? So I think on the swag program, the fact that you can put those mechanics out there, even get great feedback on them. I mean, the fact that even Peg now is doing great work putting out our alpha documents and getting feedback. I mean, the feedback is actually mattering for the books. You know, it's not pre-sales, folks. There's actually a lot of dialogue back and forth, you know, beyond just, you know, grammar fixes. I mean, we threw in like 3 or 4 more powers into the super companion, you know, even one like last minute, someone's like, wait, there's no power for this. And we're like, how did we forget that? That's an obvious one, right? Well, you know, okay, version 1.5. Sorry, it was 1.4, 1.5. But, you know, I think swag allows
final.
Oh yeah, never put final in the file name. This is the worst idea ever. If you put final on something, there's going to be a number after it because it's just, you know, the version gods will not let that slip. But it is a great thing. I mean, the fact that, like, you know, swag allows, and we do see that. We see people who have ace licenses with groups, you know, putting stuff that's just, you know, smaller, less intensive on the swag program, right? Oh, where's Jody? There we go. Right, vital. Exactly. So yeah, don't make that mistake, folks. Never promise final. Even, I mean, I'm looking at Herbal Academy and, like, you know, added to catalog February 18th. Wow, you turned it around really fast, Christian. Your last update was February 24th after a February 18th publication. So you caught whatever it was and turned it around. But yeah, almost all of us will have that added catalog date, and there will be a different date to last updated. And you know, right?
It's inevitable.
This time, for sure, version 3, 4 or 5 expletives. Yes, absolutely.
And what do they say about a book? It's never done. It's only published.
It's only abandoned. Yeah, absolutely.
So okay, next award, sir. As long as you're here, the last but not least amongst the folks who showed up. Dungeon Delvers, the Dungeon Delvers Toolkit by Mr. David Anderson. That is currently on Drive-Thru RPG for just $1, and it comes in at 3 pages. So congratulations, sir. Tell us what's in the Dungeon Delvers Toolkit.
So the Dungeon Delvers Toolkit, a lot like Cyril, I wanted to run some fantasy with the Savage Worlds, and I wanted to kind of give it little more of a traditional fantasy RPG feel. So I kind of borrowed some concepts from a very, very popular fantasy role-playing game, and I kind of ported them over to Savage Worlds, more or less, with a short rest and a longer rest. And it's also got a couple of things where I replace some of the, like, you can replace the D6 for the raise on a strike with special things that you can do. Like, you can trade it in for a disarm or trade it in for a, I call it, I forget what I call it. I wrote it so long ago. It was pre-pandemic stuff, man. But
I don't even remember.
I have no idea what I wrote, you know.
2020 was 10 years ago. It really seems that way, doesn't it?
2020 was only a month ago, right? It's still March 2020. Like all of Savage Worlds, the approach that I wanted to take is, and what I love about Savage Worlds isn't a game system, it's a toolbox. It gives you a basic gaming concept, and then it's just a box full of tools in there, and you just pick out what you want for your game, and that's what I love about it. I love setting rules and stuff like that. So more or less, it's just 3 setting rules that I threw in there that you can throw into your fantasy game. If I can, real quick, I'd like to give a shout out because the final edit version went to somebody you probably haven't heard of, Eric Lamoureux.
Who's that? Who's that guy?
Yeah, who's that guy? Right? Yeah,
he's not watching. Rishi Gervais is not hosting, so
no. Yeah, well, the guy with 15 vowels in his last name. I haven't spelled it correctly yet, but I love that guy. I gave it to him, and when I told you that, he came back, he was like, yeah, you need to change all of this stuff. He didn't tell me how to change it. He was like, yeah, none of this works, all of this you got to change. And so I changed it all, and then I released it, and it's weird because, like, every day I'd sneak on the drive-thru and I'd be like, so where's it sitting now? how is it sitting at number 2? What's it? What am I doing here? You know, I'm getting 60 cents a piece, and I've got how much in my account? By the way, I've blown all that money on other PDFs,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
make a dime on that thing. But yeah, that's where it came out of, and we played that game at my table for a while. The rules they ran well, and I'm just really happy with it. And more or less, what that did is that launched me into working for other aces and stuff like that, and eventually working my way around to you know. A certain guy named Landauer helped land me into a recent peg product, which was like one of the biggest. Because I got to tell you guys, Landauer did not tell me that was coming out. I didn't know till it came out and I saw my name in it. And I think I ran around the house with my pants on fire for about 15 minutes until my wife asked me what's going on.
That's what you get for wearing pants during COVID,
Yeah,
sir.
right. Yeah. So I told her how excited I was over that particular thing, and she just looked at me and she said, "Nerd," and walked away. But still, I was very happy. No, she was thrilled for me, and she's thrilled for me tonight too. So I have a lot of thanks to give out to people. Cyril's one of them. Cyril was, again, we were talking about it just before. What's great about the Savage Worlds swag community? Everything is great about it. Yeah, if you guys aren't on the unofficial Discord, get on it, get active. Everybody there is kind. Everybody there is accepting. Hey, Christian, tell me, I've seen people get a little testy with each other every now and then. I've never seen like a flame war where people are getting butthurt or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. I
People
don't think
always,
so.
yeah, people always keep it nice on there.
Yeah,
you know, and
I
present
think
company,
that's true of the Savage Worlds community as a
Yeah.
whole. It's always been like that. I mean, I'm sure there's spaces where, you know, not so much, but even way back when I joined the community back in like 2008, I think everybody was super friendly and super helpful. Like
Yeah.
it's such a great community. It's far
Yeah.
less toxic than so many others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we mentioned briefly before Sir Richard Wolcott, which I mean, you can't talk about that guy enough. I made the mistake of asking him one question once about a rule, and like
Oh, yeah.
3 hours later, I was like, yeah, Rich, I get it.
He knows
Mistakes
a
were
lot
made.
about
Yes.
the previous edition and how it evolved, and he can
He
tell
has
you
a
exactly.
very,
He is
very
an
analytical mind.
He is an
It's-
encyclopedia, that
Yeah.
guy, and he's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And Jetmar,
Mhm.
just absolutely a wonderful guy, and he's got the 2 most beautiful children in the world. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, he really does. His children are adorable. So yeah, that's how it came around, and I'm happy with it. It started things.
Yeah, one of you guys pop in the comments the Discord link. I don't want to open up Discord because it'll give me all the notifications, but there is a welcome link for the unofficial Discord if you guys want to. Right now, Jody's put in the 2019 links, all the 2019 products, and I'm going to put in comments the 2020 links as I got them up. But one of the things that I really noticed on going through these products, you just reviewing them before the awards, is just how many, if you look at the credits pages on here, how interconnected the community is. I mean, you look at the credits page and it's, you'll recognize this very much the same names and the interconnectedness. So I think that's just a really strong sign that the, if you want to succeed and you want help, it's here. You can get it done. Come to the Discord, reach out. I have yet to meet a single Savage Worlds creator who hasn't, like you said with Richard, you ask them and they'll give you the time. That is a kind of a wonderful thing, especially in an industry where, like all industries, from the outside, people, they don't talk about a lot of stuff. You don't see like, okay, how much what does a piece of art cost? And then people will give you like, oh, it depends, right? If you have no idea, like, are we talking $10, $100, $1,000? Like, give me an order of magnitude or somewhere. Or like, how do I go to a printer? Like, do I need to get, if I sell 100, is it good enough to go to a printer? Do I need to get a 500 or do I need to get 1,000? And there's just so much kind of communal knowledge now that you look at where that this took off in 2019. We started in 2019, and just where we are now. just it's fantastic growth. I mean, like there's the number of products, and then how many the top sales are, and it's really encouraging just seeing and that's kind of viral exponential growth that Pinnacle can't do. We can't grow twofold, fourfold, eightfold per year, but the community stuff has that ability because it's there's just so many more people out there to bring ideas and to get stuff to market. So it's I think it's exciting on that front, just being able to see all the people succeeding and getting published. Because if you look at something like even with Davidson commenting, or even like Holler, it's reaching that threshold from being a fan to a creator in secret to I'm finally ready to put something out there. The swag program lowers the bar, right? Like it lowers the bar on how much you're really ready to show. Like I only need one page, guys. If I can create a 1-page archetype for one kind of character, I can throw it out there and see if it sticks.
And I saw Jody's comment earlier regarding the percentages, and it is actually the among the most generous of the community programs that are on Drive-Thru RPG. And what's really cool is like if you're starting off and you're using the stock art, you're putting out the small products and so on. But what's cool is you can take that money that you've earned from that revenue and then start applying it to products in the future, right? Getting the art that you want, getting the the editors that you want, or whatever it is that you need to pay for.
And you can update your product. So for me, I sold companions and familiars, gave me a bit of money. I bought some art and I redid the art and the cover of the product to make it look better quality. So it's interesting that we can work like that.
Yeah.
It is. It's pretty fantastic that you can jump in like that. And you mentioned Holler. The nice thing about swag is you don't have to be as brilliant as Tim Early to get your stuff published, because we were talking about Carl Kiesler making you feel bad before. Tim Early's another guy that'll make you feel bad about what you're doing. So you can even somebody like me can get published on it. You don't have to be as Carl. But Tim, I feel the same way about Tim. Tim's so brilliant, and to just be mentioned in the same sentence as that guy is pretty breathtaking.
Well, and this is a shout out entirely to the swag creators. The things like the Swag Timber bundle, that wasn't Pinnacle steered or Pinnacle guided. That was a swag member wanted to put it together, and that has been a great way. Guys, if you're a swag person, get your stuff out before September and opt into that. Because that is a great way to get market, to get noticed, to get all these products together in a bundle. So just that innovation and the crowdsourcing of the attention is another fantastic thing. So it's exciting. I mean, we're so thrilled to see people succeed on this and to just see what the next step could possibly be, because the hard thing about publishing, right, it's almost like, how do you get a second book? Well, you write the first book, right? Like, well, it doesn't help people. But now it's one of these things where it's like, get a swag, put something out there, get your name out there, connect with the other creators, and that leads to bigger and better and greater things, because it's a portfolio now. Now, if you like David took his stuff and worked on Interface Zero, one of the top, I think it's one of the highest. Probably, I'm probably right on this. I think it's the highest ACE Kickstarter in volume and dollar amount. I'm pretty sure that's right. Or it is one of the top ones. Well, if you didn't have that comfort or that experience or that, like, hey, here's a sample of what I can do, it's a lot harder to get in the door on that, right? It's, but now that you've got that, and again, the work you did there is now another thing on the resume. So that's exciting for me, just helping people get published, all that fun stuff. So I think it's fun. Like we all get to comment on these next ones, because we've got a couple people who couldn't make it. They sent in some videos, so let's give them their awards. And then the folks who didn't show up and didn't send in a video, we'll just comment for them. We'll have the fun anyway. So
cool. So we can MST3K them, is what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, I'm in. I get to be Crow.
So let's do Sprawl Runners now, because Sprawl Runners is a great one. I mean, amazing product. So let's toss this puppy up there. Maybe open up the web browser. So Sprawl Runners. So Receiving a 2020 Swag Award, Sprawl Runners, Manuel Sams from Veiled Fury Entertainment. It is currently on sale for $6.99 on DriveThru RPG, and it is a whopping 71 pages. And Manuel was kind enough to send us in this video to accept his prize.
Hello, Pinnacle crew, and all of you lovely Savage Worlds fans out there. I am Manuel FS Sams. I run Veiled Fury Entertainment. I join you tonight as a disembodied voice to say thank you a lot. Sprawl Runners won a 2020 Swag Award, so thank you to Pinnacle for both giving me the platform to sell it and then a prize to honor it. Sprawl Runners is a toolkit, a variation of the core system approach that Savage Worlds takes. It provides compact and unintrusive rules and guidelines to power any setting incorporating cyberpunk elements with magic as an optional choice. If you're now thinking of a certain existing setting, yes, that inspiration is easy to see. But don't let that limit your understanding of the capabilities and flexibility of this product. Everything in Sprawl Runners is built as a modular system, and you can easily use as much or as little as you want and fits your setting. I believe its versatility is a big reason why Sprawl Runners is my best-selling product to date and was the first swag title to ever reach platinum status on DriveThru RPG. I wouldn't have believed that to ever be possible, so another heartfelt thank you to all of my supporters out there. Besides Sprawl Runners, I publish small $1 supplements, so check out my catalog on DriveThru RPG if you enjoy compact and fast rule editions for various occasions. You can contact me on Facebook, but I am most active on the official Veiled Fury Entertainment Discord server. Since I can't be here in person, maybe someone in chat could post a link there. I'd be much obliged. Thank you once again to Pinnacle and all of you. You all rock.
What a classy guy Manuel is.
He sounds exactly the way I imagined. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. I was expecting a little bit more of the German anger to come out, and he just seems so pleasant. I mean,
No.
He's got a podcast. He's got a podcast too, I believe.
Does he?
Yeah,
It's
whiskey
Vasant, the
and-
band Whiskey, exactly.
Yeah.
That's another product Jan Jetmar worked on too, by the way.
Mhm.
His graphics are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sprawl Runners, because Manuel's love for Shadowrun was, it's obviously the love letter for that, and it not only is it the first product that hit platinum, the time between release and hitting platinum was incredibly short.
Like
So that shows you how good of a product it was and how in demand it was. It was.
Yep.
I was blown away by that.
And the difference between Sprawl Runners and the game that inspired it is you can actually play Sprawl Runners.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
that's the difference. It's
We're sorry.
really
about
simple.
all the Shadowrun fans. Sorry.
Well,
about
yeah, so
I didn't say
think,
that. I didn't say that, Kristen.
No, see, you don't get me in trouble. We're fine. You're not on the payroll. You don't have to be nice. There's some truth to that, though. I mean, the fact that I think all of our communal love for Savage Worlds is eminently playable, right? And that's kind of one of the challenges for adapting other works is, in systems where, I mean, obviously every system has its own fans that love the systems that are out, but in systems that are have a good group of people who just can never grok the crunch. Savage Worlds fills in that gap. So that's an awesome thing. And I think that one of the cool things about Sprawl Runners in general, I mean, hinting at next week's awards, for folks who were here, this is the 2020 awards. Next Thursday is the 2021 awards. I think Manuel is also the first, maybe even the first Ace. I'm not sure if the Aces have done this yet, but definitely the first swag program who has put out a VTT product of his game.
Yeah.
And so if you're just thinking about that, guys, like you can compete not only with established products like, David didn't name, but also, I mean, consider there are other Ace great programs like Interface Zero, right? Covers similar material, similar subject. You can compete with that. You can get your don't feel limited by what's already out there. If you've got a spin on it or a different way of approaching it, put the stuff out there. It is fantastic. And obviously Manuel has succeeded enough where he's be able to afford the upfront cost of having a VTT created, and that exploded as well as a top 10 product. So that is just phenomenal. I mean, in my estimate, that those things would be out of reach. But no, you strike gold with the right idea and the right quality, and fantastic on you for getting those things done. So, here we go. We got some love for Christian. Yeah, quick shout out to Christian for the Savage Worlds raise calculator as well.
Yes, and a lot of work on the Foundry modules also.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
it's a labor of love. Labor of love.
I use it constantly.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to Florad. Actually,
Yeah.
Florad is the guy behind the Savage Worlds system. I just dabble and contribute things. But Florad, yeah, he's
amazing.
He's the mad scientist of that creation. So,
well, speaking of mad scientists, well, actually, between Christian and I, and maybe David, we got to shout out. Ron didn't show up tonight, but Ron is going to win an award tonight. So, Mr. Ron Blessing, congratulations, Ron, on a 2020 Swag Award for the Warrior Adept. We can't believe you're not here, but it's a $1.50 on the drive-through RPG right now. And so yeah, the other guy with the dulcet tones.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Ron's good people. He's
right.
Yeah,
And Ron's been a cheerleader for Savage Worlds since like the beginning, right? I mean, there's a lot of us who have made our way into Savage Worlds, or gotten advice, or I mean, Ron's the entire reason I even started podcasting for Savage Worlds, because I ended up taking over. So I mean, right? So he's an enabler. He's
the reason why I fell in love with Savage Worlds. Like all his interviews and all that, and the reason why I got into podcasting. So
Ron's awesome. So Ron, the floor is lava. He'll understand it when he hears it. And also Ron gives the best hugs. I know in a COVID world, but Ron gives. If you see him, he gives the best hugs.
He does.
He really does. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Wand Adept. Warrior Adept is I mean, it's a stellar product. Like I actually use it for my Savage Eberron games because it's perfect for soul knives. That's
cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, he did a good job on it. I was fortunate enough to play in a play test for the Warrior Adept at Genghis.
Nice.
And at that table, it was Ron, myself, Carl Kiesler as a player, and a couple other people. And what a game that was! That was just absolutely fantastic.
Sport and spice.
Yeah. He's pretty amazing. I can't say enough good words about him, and a fellow New Jerseyite. So just nothing but love for the guy.
Yeah, so congratulations, Ron. Too bad you couldn't be here, buddy. But we know we got more coming from you. All things great Savage Worlds. I mean, so check out Ron's podcast. The man is a machine for putting out Savage Worlds love and content.
There's an episode releasing tomorrow, and I know because I recorded on it.
He's probably editing right now, right? Somebody else is recording. But here we go. So one of the ones, I mean, talking about tapping into the zeitgeist. Here is one. Let me pull the page. That definitely hit the Stranger Things vibe. Congratulations to Dylan Brooks for Modern Monsters, a 2020 Swag Award winner. You can tell by the font at the top where we're going at that, but I love that picture. The picture's like, there's just, it's creepy. And Dylan was fortunate enough to stop by before today and record a little thank you. So we'll give it over to Dylan.
Hi, thanks for the Swag Award for Modern Monsters. I couldn't have put that product together without the assistance of a number of people. I'd like to thank Adam Bassett for his excellent art that really set the tone for the project, Shar and Rob of Irregardless for their layout advice and helping me find and work with Adam, and all the members of the unofficial Savage Worlds Discord server for their brainstorming help. Particularly Donovan Bailey for editorial assistance, and Jan Yetmar. I hope that's Jan Yetmar. For helping me fight with some PDF layering issues. Couldn't have put it together without all of you. I've always loved a bestiary, so this was a fun one to put together. I tried to include a good mix of cryptids, stuff inspired by my favorite horror stories, and a few things I came up with on my own. I'm always glad to hear when people get use out of the stuff I've written, so seeing so many people pick it up and let me know that they liked it is great. I'm currently working on the follow-up product I hinted about in there, about boss fights in Savage Worlds. So I don't have a release date in mind yet. Hope to see people on the Discord and in all of the places Savage Worlds players get together online. Thanks.
Thanks, Phil, for sharing that with us. And so for you guys who want to pick up Modern Monsters, it is a 31-page supplement, and it's currently on sale for $3.99 at DriveThru RPG. And that's the other thing, too, is I think one of the nice things about Swag is the turnaround times versus bigger book print publishing. If there's a great new show on TV or a great new idea, you can start tapping into that audience almost immediately. I mean, a couple weeks to put together a thing versus, hey, we need to get art and planning and then, getting a 200-page book done and then, shipping and printing and no one wants to do printing right now. Oh my God, the printing stuff is inane. So, so Swag creators, you're not bound by that, because I think the great thing with Swag is if you want to offer print options, you can do that through the print on demand feature. So like, the cards, the Wild West Countdown deck is a print on demand kind of thing. So those aren't as generally lucrative for the creators, but the fact that the creator doesn't have to worry about signing a contract and printing 1,000 and keeping them in their garage. So, it's a great option if you want to get your stuff in print that is out there. So, another nice little bonus for Swag. So, and Neville, yes, definitely good stuff on there. And look, Steel Draco, he's getting the shout outs. You deserve it. You should be on the stream, buddy, but whatever. I know you got kids and noise. So, one more. We got, here we go. We'll play the next Swag Award. Our next entry winning a 2020 Swag Award for best-selling product is Of Breath and Flow, Mystic Martial Arts Action and Savage Wuxia Adventures. It is written by Matthew Hoovler and Steve Spalding, who join us now. Congratulations, guys. Excellent product, but wonderful that you guys could join us remotely before our show. So congratulations, guys.
Thanks
you
for having us on. This is great.
So tell us, what was the concept behind this, and how was it to be Swag producers? How did you find the process?
Well, okay. Before we get into anything else, I want to thank the good people at Pinnacle Entertainment for all the resources that they managed to give you to put out such a quality product as this. Really professional looking templates and everything that you need. Love the open gaming license. I think that all games should be open gaming license. It just makes for a better community, a better quality product all the way up and down the line. Gosh, you have to go back 10 years when me and Matt first started gaming together, and I had a Pathfinder campaign, and in it there were some good families and some bad families in the city, and one of the good families was called the Vintonettes. And later on, when we decided that we wanted to get together and actually make some stuff, we decided Vintonet Studios. And we were kind of looking around for something to do, and both of us kind of like martial arts. We both, practice the martial arts, different kind of kung fu styles. We also love the kung fu movies, that sort of stuff. So that was obviously going to be an element there. And then, as Matt likes to say, we love the peanut butter chocolate. We like those movies like Cowboys versus Aliens, where you get a genre mashup kind of thing. And we came up with a very high concept setting called the Mandate of Heaven, which is 10 years after the aliens have invaded the planet. And you have all these wuxia, legends of kung fu heroes who got to go and fight mecha and alien invaders and weird science and all this kind of stuff in a real, fight for freedom and liberty. And there's all kind of mystic background going and clashing with the science fiction background. We thought that'd just be great. And then we were looking at the actual martial arts styles and decided it was time to come out with something that would take things maybe to the next level. I was always kind of more on the story side of things, and Matt was always kind of the rules lawyer, the crunchy mechanics side of things when we were playing. And so we decided to kind of divvy up the action that way. Matt?
Yeah. So, as awesome as Savage Worlds is, it has a lot. You can do a lot of things with reskinning and changing trappings and so forth. But I wanted to do something that was a little crunchier than that by having a multi-layered school versus style overlay. And we sort of put that together, but wasn't sure how that would sort of play in the market. So I took all the stuff out of A Mandate of Heaven that were sort of genre agnostic and bundled it into what became Of Breath and Flow. So there's not that much in there that's directly tied to the Mandate of Heaven, but it let us try out the Savage Worlds engine and the sort of the design that we came up with for making a wuxia style martial arts system that was diverse and had a lot of flavor as well as speed to it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it's a 20-page supplement, and it's currently on sale on DriveThruRPG for just $1.80. So folks go out and pick that up. When was the first idea? Like, when did you first figure out that this actually was going to take off, and saw your sales come in?
Well, we published it we put it out there in May, I think you said. I can't remember exactly, but
yeah, end of May 2020.
And it was within a month or two, the numbers just kept going up. And I was like, I remember sending Steve emails being like, dude, look.
People like us.
I was like, oh my God.
I gotta say, we like when we sat down to make it, it was all about amusing ourselves, doing something that we thought would be fun for us, and it has just been really gratifying to see that so many other people out there have found something that they also like in this stuff. Yeah. And I hope that anybody out there is just thinking that they can use it as any kind of resource. Buy it and get whatever you want out of it. Take and pick and piece it apart. Take only the parts you need. Mix it up. Whatever you feel is right, because that's the real spirit of the game.
Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of support from the
definitely
the unofficial Savage Worlds Discord. Dr. Bosan and I made notes for myself because I was going to forget this.
I have my speech pre-written, please. Yes.
I do. It was Dr. Bosan and Jetty helped us at the Savage Worlds Discord. And Zadmar had a lot of really good material that we could use to the was it Savage Armory I used to create all those awesome Chinese style weapons. And it's been really nice to have the kind of community support and background that it was a very you put something out there and people immediately are like, oh no, this is going to work. That's not going to work. Try this, change that. And it was very heartening to have that at your disposal. It makes it a lot easier. I would have the original material I wrote was nowhere near as good as it was after I had run through the gauntlet a couple times.
And that's really the goal of the swag program, is to create a creator community and allow you to publish things in bite-sized pieces. Obviously, and then the winners we're seeing this year are across the board, from either a very small one-page adventures all the way up to almost full-size settings. I think that's fantastic. You guys really took advantage of those resources and then helped contribute back to that. So before I let you guys go, we got to show Matthew has an amazing game table with under bevel lighting, and so you guys got to see the magic of the under bevel.
The magic of the gaming table. Yes. This is my gaming table here in all this glory. It's one of the tables of ultimate gaming games tables. Alexa, set the lighting to gold.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alexa, set game table to purple. I think I can do purple.
Okay.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you, both of you, for being such excellent creators. We look forward to the next project. Oh, do you have anything in the pipeline you want to hint at that might be coming out in 2022 or later?
Actually, we've got some stuff. We've got a series of mandate missives to try and introduce the whole setting, and it's going to have some more background, some more narrative stuff, but also some more rule supplement stuff to really get things a little bit, bring in some more of those science fiction elements that were part of our original concept.
Yeah, and additional schools, additional styles, and mechanics like. I think I made one for rivalries and things like that are really very central to wuxia.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations again on of Breath and Flow, and I look forward to seeing the updates you guys give us this upcoming. So cheers again, and congratulations.
Thanks you very much.
This has been great.
So we're in the home stretch, folks. We only got a couple more awards to give out. Some folks who couldn't make it on stream, but here's an interesting one that I think this creator Peter Rudin Burgess is kind of famous for doing solo play and adapting it to various systems. So congratulations to Peter Rudin Burgess for Solo Game Guide for Savage Worlds, a 2020 swag winner. It is a 15-page PDF. Artist by Mira Kosick, Pete Linforth, and Raphael Ofgabe, and it sells for $3.99. So that's an exciting one. I like the fact that solo gaming. I think it's a kind of a new area to start creating more things for, because some of us are a little desperate to be able to meet in person and don't do the online stuff. But between VTT taking off, I think solo gaming has also had its own little renaissance. So it's a cool. I like seeing people put out that kind of stuff. I think that's a growing market. I don't know, like the Italian guys, some of the Italian guys who are in the Savage Worlds community are kind of famous for putting out like solo dungeon adventure games. So I like seeing that innovation. Have you guys ever done solo adventure games?
I've been considering doing the Deadlands one that Peg put out. Actually, I haven't done that one yet.
Oh my God, yes, Crater Lake Chronicles. The
one, yeah.
So I haven't had the chance to meet the author in person yet. Let me make sure I get the name right. But I hear he's crazy. It's Garrett Leahy. I hear the guy is absolutely crazy. So it sounds like a fun thing. But I'm reading through that one. It's like, yeah, it sounds like a great thing. So I'm excited for that. So either the other two, David or Cyril, have you ever done the solo game adventure thing?
No, sir.
No, never.
Well, now you have no excuse. You only have to drop $3.99 and you can play solo Savage Worlds. So
I hear it's a good product.
Right. It is. It is award winning.
It's award winning. Yeah.
And Peter is very active on the unofficial server. He gives a lot of advice about publishing too.
Yep. I think what's amazing is the same names keep popping up, over and over.
JT?
Yeah.
Peter,
Sir Richard
Richard.
Wolcott. Yeah, they're and Shar from Irregardless. I mean, I
Shar.
think everybody on that server is in love with her just a little bit. She's one of the most wonderful people on the planet.
She did our logo.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Oh,
She's
she and
just-
Rob, I should say.
Yeah. They're both amazing.
Yes,
I don't mean to exclude Rob, but it's the same, because they really are kind, generous, wonderful people.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about the swag community on this server, but the server is not limited we have a lot of GMs and players, and a channel with GMs asking for advices like, I'm in the campaign, I don't find good ideas, I would like to do that, or should I present it? Should I use a dramatic task or a chase or stuff like this? It's very interesting also.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of discussion also about homebrew. So I want to create my own setting, not publish it, but for me, is this balanced, or should I use no PowerPoint rules or not? A lot of very interesting discussion for the whole community, I think.
So here's a great question to throw to the three of you while I pull up the next winners. E. Robert Wilson asks, Matt mentioned that the Pinnacle templates, was the process of layout difficult to do, and would you recommend it for someone who has never laid out a gaming product before? So that's a great one. Any one of you guys want to handle that one?
I liked it. I like the Pinnacle template. I do have a little bit of experience with InDesign, but not like professional, nowhere near professional level, but enough that I can figure out the details. I also know how to do styles from web design, so that kind of translates somewhat. But it is an easy template to use, in my opinion. And,
I started from scratch, and I did mine in Affinity because I don't have the bucks to lay out for InDesign, so I paid out the $50 for Affinity. And I used the Peg templates, and there was a learning curve. It took me a few days. At that time that I was doing it, I wasn't doing anything else other than that. But it took a few days. But once you got it, you got it. And the templates were they were fantastic. They just got you up and running so quick.
And something to consider too, in the swag community, people are willing to work for trade. So if you want to do editing, or if you need editing, and somebody else needs layout, or vice versa, or whatever, there's ways to do trade like that, and it's pretty cool.
And sometimes, if you ask real nice, you can get editing from professional editors for just a shot in the arm, right, Chris?
I'll read anything. So so editing is hard, man. So that's the one thing. Like I'm very good at finding like grammar stuff and spelling stuff. But when you have like an awkward paragraph and you want to rewrite it, it's an art trying to keep the original author's voice and intent, but clarify some stuff. And that's the weird thing about RPG writing is like the fluff sections, you generally don't have to worry too much, right? You just make sure it's clear. But when you get into mechanical descriptions, there's definitely an art to describing mechanics well. And actually, here's a tip. Here's a tip for all you guys out there. Pinnacle puts out a absolutely free style guide.
Yes.
So go
That's what
to
I'm
the
doing.
Pinnacle website, search style guide, download it. It is free. That goes through just all of the how Peg Pinnacle products sound, what voice to use, what things are capitalized. It's a great little resource to go along with other kind of whether it's Writers Inc. or there's several other books out there that can kind of help you do help you do your own editing. But definitely check out the Peg Style Guide, because that'll help your products match Pinnacle standards. So
right, and it goes a long way to sounding really polished when you follow that style guide. So
the World Builders Guide that came with the box set is huge too. There's stuff in there that you absolutely have to read. My favorite section in there is about building your community. I forget who wrote it.
Oh, you are such a kiss up, sir. I'm just sad. So David was going to go on the Savage Cruise, and we all wanted to have rooms near David. So David's whole floor on the cruise ship was booked out with Pinnacle people, like 10 rooms this way, 7 rooms that way.
We called it the Anderson cluster because my 2 boys had rooms on there too.
So yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure of meeting you both at Dragon Con 2 years ago. You were both there at the same time. So
me and my oldest.
Yeah, we will be doing more events. We got Deadwood right between the COVID spikes. Like we pulled that off. No one died. Thank you. Woohoo. Whatever, knock on wood, pray to whatever God. Yeah, we've got Deadwood was amazing. But yeah, we are looking at doing more live events. It's a crazy time in the world right now. So keep in touch with those. But the last 2 before we get to our third or the free product, you guys will recognize these names. The congratulations to Jan Yetmar for Wand Magic. It is a 2020 Swag Award winner. It is 4 pages and available for just $1. So Jan is an awesome dude. I will remove this so we can talk about nice things about Jan. Jan is also another Savage cheerleader type. He's definitely encouraging. He's a great guy to talk to. He can't make it tonight, but we talked this earlier today, and he sends his love to this swag community. But so say good stuff about Jan, guys, because he's a cool dude.
He's okay. No, I'm kidding.
He's all right.
He's great. He made all my covers.
Just to let you know what kind of guy Jan is. Chris is aware of this. Last year, I went through some medical stuff. Chris was huge in helping me through my recovery. All of a sudden, I get a knock on the door. I got 2 giant grocery bags full of ice cream. Thank you, Mr. Landauer. He had it delivered to Florida. He's in Colorado.
Wow.
It's my goal to make other people fat. So it wasn't because you were sick. It's you're too thin, sir.
Or diabetic. One of the 2.
And Jan was another one. He just I mentioned to Cyril before. His kids are beautiful. Every day he would check in on me and say, "Hey, Dave, how you doing? This is what's going on with me." And it wasn't gaming talk. It was like real human people talk.
Yeah.
And that's where he comes from. He's just an amazing dude. I can't say enough about him.
No, he's good people. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And another non-American holding down America's small for his
and speaking of Wand Magic specifically, I know that it's a great product for let me back up in a little bit. If you play Eberron, or if you're familiar with the Eberron campaign setting, there's a concept in that setting called the Wand Slinger, and it is a great product for playing that concept in a Savage Eberron game. So it like really gets into like different edges and hindrances and so on. Yeah, being a Wand Slinger type character. So highly recommend.
Yeah, it's so good. Wand Magic is so good.
Yeah.
At first, you look at it and you say, okay, it's for Harry Potter. But no.
Nope.
It could be. It could be. Yeah.
It could be, but it's only a small part. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And with the trappings, you can really do a lot of things.
Right. Like the holy symbols and things like that.
He's amazing. Exactly. It's so good. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So let's see. Last but definitely not least of the non-free games, we have a 2020 Swag Award going to John Stevens and Vanatas Vinko, who's in the chat. congratulations for Petromancy. Petromancy is a 9-page supplement available for just $1 on Drive-Thru-RPG with a lovely, luscious cover right there. So I like it. I mean, this is one of those things where, it's 9 pages of content, super cheap price, and you don't have to go overboard creating. I don't have to do 90 different magic things. Here's just one cool thing: magic with rocks.
Yeah, it's really cool. I got to see a preview of it when he was still working on it, and I loved it. I thought it was a really, really cool concept, like all the different properties for different stones and all the different minerals. Yeah, it's
really clever, is what it is.
Yeah,
it's smart and it's clever. I love it. I use it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And he's also very active in the Foundry community.
Yeah, he is. Good. Go figure, right? He's another one of those kind, generous, wonderful people. Yeah.
He also built the Affinity Publisher template for Swag.
Oh, he's the guy.
And a lot of authors are using this one. Yeah, I do, and it's very, very helpful. Yes.
Yeah. And we just pulled the Clark Kent and Superman, Vanatis Vinko and John Stevens, the same person. I didn't know if that was public, sir. I wasn't comfortable revealing your true identity, Mr. Stevens.
Never seen them together in the same room.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So congratulations on Petromancy, sir. I'm like, why are you not on camera? I know you have a camera. So I think that brings almost to the end of the show. The final 2020 Swag Award goes to the 100% free product, Blood Hunt, a Savage Worlds one sheet by Ben Giles. And Ben was kind enough to record a little thing for us before the show. So here's that.
Okay.
Hi everyone, Ben Giles of White Witch Games. Thank you Pinnacle for the award for top free product. It's a real honor to have my first adventure given this sort of recognition. It wouldn't have been possible without the help and advice from the other swag creators who are always raising the bar with their own work. Thank you especially to everyone who picked up the adventure. Your support means everything. I hope you had fun with it. For those who don't know, Blood Hunt is a one-sheet adventure that sees the heroes enter a hunting competition, compete against rival teams, and brave the wilderness to catch a monster. But over the course of the adventure, the hunters become the hunted. It can be played as part of any Weird West, horror, or fantasy game, and comes with 4 characters to play as: Dwarf Hunter, the Human Witch, the Half-Halfling Thief, and the Human Baron with a dark side. It's part of a series of adventures I've written for Vermilion, my upcoming high fantasy western setting. If you want to know more about that, give White Witch Games a follow on Instagram and Facebook, where I post pretty regularly, and get the jump start when it comes out in the next few weeks. Once again, thank you.
Oh, I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Hide it. So congratulations, Ben. And again, another person who's got an ACE license, who's going to be putting out a full setting, but is using the swag program to put out free content to bolster that. It's a great idea. Christian, actually, we have to mention to you guys, Christian is spearheading a wonderful effort to allow swag creators to contact their customers. So it's kind of a feature / maybe bug on Drive-Thru-RPG, where if you have your own account, you can kind of use your points you accrue to send out emails to your customers. But since swag falls under Pinnacle kind of has to do that. So we're working out a way so that you guys can reach out to your customers as well on the swag program. And thanks, Christian, for spearheading that effort. Able to increase the signal there.
Yeah, if all goes well, you'll be able to target people who purchase specific products and send them updates and things like that. So hopefully that'll all shake out pretty well. So.
Who here already wants to run Vermilion, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem with Savage Worlds, man. There's too many great settings,
Yeah.
Too many. Decision paralysis.
The guy said Deadland did not go far enough. We have to add races, like fantasy races to the Weird West.
Yeah.
And the idea is kind of neat. I like it.
It's solid. It's good. I'm going to be all over that. I'll buy it. I hope I get to run it. I don't know. So much good stuff. I still got to run the after. I got to run all kinds of other stuff. There's so much good stuff out there.
I'm supposed to be working on a setting and I can't because I keep playing, looking at all these other settings and trying to play them. So it's like, things don't get done. But yeah.
Yeah, there's just too much good stuff. And right now, I'm involved in helping a couple of guys develop a couple other settings that are coming out. And I can tell you that, man, they're dynamite stuff. There's just it's one of the great things about Savage Worlds, man, is that the settings are just bonkers, and you can do really whatever you want with it. I love it. It's fantastic.
And as a fan, it's great because you get to pick and choose pieces of different settings.
Yes, the toolbox aspect, right? You can take a wrench out of this one and a hammer out of that one, and you've got a mad genius like Cyril product every other day that is just absolutely fantastic. You can grab that stuff up too.
I conceive them for fantasy, and I have feedback of people who are using them for science fiction or modern settings. It's I was not explaining it, but it's pretty portable. Yeah,
drop them all right in the Sprawl Runners and just go nuts.
Yeah, I love the Sprawl Runner. It's very in the spirit of Savage World.
Yeah, it's great, and
that is the way.
Yeah, and it won't break anything. You can drop them all in there, and nothing gets broken. You just
really
keep chugging along. Yep, that's the great thing about it. That's what Shane did right. You can't break this game.
We try, though. We do try.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the one way to break the game is don't give out any bennies. That's the
key.
Yeah, and use the old shaken rules. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not going
to. There's some wounds. I can hear Ron in my ear, in my back head. So congratulations again to all the 2020 swag winners. 1 week from now, Thursday night again at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the 2020 winners. Thank you, Cyril and David and Christian, for joining me as
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
It was wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it, man.
And I think the one thing that binds us all is that we all play Savage Worlds, and so that's going to be my motto for the next year, shoving it down your throats. We play Savage Worlds, and in honor of that, I'm going to tell you guys, or show you guys where that motto came from before we go. So, cheers, everybody! Have a good night, and we play Savage Worlds.
We play Savage Worlds, whether we're at the table or over the internet. In our role-playing game, fantasy is just the beginning. From the Wild West to the depths of outer space and beyond. Anytime, any place. They're all Savage Worlds.